If anybody else who's joined late needs recording privileges who has not received them, please let me know. Otherwise, we are going to start with Maggie Hendricks from Valley Sports.
I am unmuted. Okay. This is for both of you, either of you. It's kind of random, but I'm wondering if you've watched any highlights of your coach play from his playing days, and if you see any similarities from what his teams, especially those bad boys teams, were like to your teams.
I haven't watched too much of Bill, if I do say so myself. Obviously, everybody knows about the bad boy and in that team, but I haven't watched as much highlights of him.
That's okay.
Kelsey?
I have watched some Bill and Beer stuff. I was caught up in how high his shorts were. I thought he would have had more leg hair on the thigh, but I guess we were wrong about that. But no, I mean, to be honest, they had a certain style. Like you said, they were the bad boys, and watching some of their games on like NBA classics and stuff, they were in the same spread offense as we do. So some things never changed.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Rafiq?
This is a question for both of you. Are you aware of the new W Slam magazine that first came out this week? And if you are, what are your impressions about it in terms of the way it came together?
I saw it on social media, similar to what, I think everyone else did. I didn't know it was coming out, but I think it's cool. I mean, they featured, some of the young and upcoming players in our league. And I just think it's cool for them to recognize not just women, but Black women. They don't get enough representation, especially the way I think typically the WNBA highlights players. So I thought it was great. I thought it was really cool that there was kind of a fashion element to it. I didn't get to see like the magazine in person, but I actually will pick up a copy if I can see one.
Any thoughts, Chelsea?
I agree. It was super cool. I like that element that she talked about with not just Black women on the cover, but incorporating some style and fashion into it. And you see that happening with, sports. Everybody's excited to see what people are wearing in the tunnel. So like showcasing that on a cover is huge.
All right, let's go to Roz with the old school hand raise.
There is no button here. Where is the hand raise button? I don't see it.
Roz, we've been in a pandemic for 2 years. You got to know this.
You go to the reaction button and then press raise hand.
Thank you. You're right. My bad. This is like my first time doing that. Okay. So I'll start with Kelsey. Bill just came on and, hey, Kelsey. Bill just came on and was like, this is a team of sacrifice. Can you discuss, and he said there's a number of players who have, can you discuss your sacrifice and how you came to wrap your head around, doing that and why it was worth it?
Yeah, I think that, he came to me, he asked me to come off the bench, and, coaches are funny. They ask, but they already have their mind made up. So I don't know how much of like an ask it actually was. But I think for me, I looked at it as two ways. Like I can either embrace it and try to make the most of it, or I can be kind of a butt and be a lump in the side for the rest of the team. And that's just selfish. And like, I think some players say they want to win, but if they actually want to win, they're actually willing to like do certain things that probably isn't in their, selfish best interest, right? I'm a competitor. Of course I want to start. Of course I want to, be out there the whole time, but understanding, my role and understanding that there are so many players on this team. And so the best version of me for the team is to come off the bench. And so to just kind of like really own that and then make it my own. And I think everyone's sacrificed. I know you didn't really ask this, but like, Asia was an MVP last year. She doesn't have to come play with Liz, but she is like, you know what, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna let it, be something that I kind of own. Chelsea comes in and she's more of a scorer than we probably let her be on this team, but she's like, you know what, I'm gonna run the show. I'm gonna get people involved. Like, De'Eric has been the epitome of sacrifice for the last, 3-4 years. She'd be on a max contract in Atlanta or somewhere else. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different people that continue to sacrifice and kind of bite their tongue because we want to win.
For you, how much of your game changes up coming off the bench? What are the different approaches you have to take in those situations versus if you were starting?
I mean, I think maybe if I was starting, there is probably more of a strategic plan to like execute certain sets, get people the ball, like obviously starting off the game, targeting Liz, establishing the paint, targeting Asia. But at the same time, like Roz, like if you were to start me tomorrow in the game, I would be the same. I would be a speed demon. I'd be running up down the court. I'd be trying to play in transition. I would try to look to get to the paint, like attack when I'm open. So I think for me, whether I'm starting, come off the bench, playing in the first quarter, the fourth quarter, my mentality in terms of pedal to the metal, that doesn't change.
And Chelsea, for you, thank you. Chelsea, for you, I wanted to just ask about that first, given the fact that it was both you and Asia's first Olympic experience. This is your first season on the team. There's just a lot of kind of new things coming your way. Did that Olympics in any way help mesh you two even closer? And if so, could you point to some examples?
Yeah, I think like just spending more time together and like try a different experience together. And it's not just like, hey, we're going to lunch. Like we went to the Olympics together. And like it's something, it's another level to it. So I think just conversations and just how we see the game and, understanding her mindset, how she sees the game. And then also still like having those conversations, like you can do this no matter you're not in an ACU form. Like I still need you to go do this, and pushing her to that limit. And you saw that in her play when we were in Tokyo. But I definitely just think that just having those conversations and moments, like we weren't able to do too much. So being at the hotel, I'm a firm believer that off the court does help on the court if you can get it meshed in the right way. Some players and some teams are programmed a little bit differently, but I've been a part of a championship where off court, impacts on court. And so being able to have those moments with her and understanding her mindset and other things, it could be whatever, definitely impacts, how you talk to certain people, how you bring the best out of others.
Thank you.
All right, last question for you ladies. Let's look to Chicago. We split with them this year. What was the difference in the win and the loss? And what things do you need to shore up to pick up the W tomorrow night?
I think for us offensively, in the second game, we were a little bit stagnant and a little bit slower. We were spread out defensively as well. They were able to get some touches in the paint, kick out to shooters, or when Parker's bringing the ball, like just she's able to score but also shoot the three. She can score on all three levels, but also dish it pretty well. So being able to contain her in transition will be huge. So that's what kind of I point to for offensively and defensively.
Anything to add, Kels?
I thought Coach Chelsea was brilliant. I think
I thought so as well.
all I got.
Roz, you unmuted yourself. Do you have one more, or maybe you didn't?
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm having
no problem.
Roz, get it together.
Having troubles on Zoom when we've been in a pandemic.
Just checking. All right, ladies, we're gonna let you go. We will see you tomorrow, 5 o'clock on MyLV TV, 5 p.m. Pacific time.
See you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.